Sambor Rambekar, the assistant professor from St. College, as a convener of the All India Safe Education Committee, the Meghalaya chapter. I welcome you all, the member of the press, the esteemed personalities on the dais. In today's program, the All India Safe Education Committee will be releasing this draft People's Education Policy as an alternative to the NEP 2020. And as we know that the Union government, which was in power in the year 2020, adopted the National Education Policy 2020 at the time of the COVID-19 pandemic, only through a cabinet decision, without placing it on the floor of the parliament for meaningful discussion and debate. However, the All India Safe Education Committee, being of the firm opinion that this NEP 2020 will destroy the entire education system in India, and is in the forefront of the struggle against the NEP 2020. And today, as we mark the birth anniversary of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, who pioneered the Indian Renaissance movement and who paved the way for modern education in India, the Meghalaya chapter of the ISEC is also releasing here in Shillong, the state capital of Meghalaya, and simultaneously in all the state capitals of the country, as well as in the national capital, New Delhi, we are releasing the draft People's Education Policy as an alternative to the NEP 2020. And therefore, at this very moment, I would call the Secretary of the All India Safe Education Committee, the Meghalaya chapter, Dr. Bhaskar Malbor, to come and please introduce the All India Safe Education Committee.
The formation of the Meghalaya chapter of the All India Safe Education Committee, in fact, we can trace back to 2024, where the leaders from the national level and also the leaders from Assam's state chapter, they came to visit our state and tried to get some people where the state chapter can be formed as part of the All India movement against the commercialization of education in India, commercialization, and all the related problems associated with the NEP. Ultimately, we had a series of informal consultations with the like-minded people who are interested in, in saving the education in the country. And we are very happy that after a series of meetings with different people, we were able to form the state Meghalaya chapter of the All India Safe Education Committee, and we formed it on the 30th April 2025. And in fact, this All India Safe Education Committee, Meghalaya chapter, just like the other chapters that are in different states of India, is a non-political organization.
Madam Patricia, to have a say on this part of the draft. Madam.
I've gone through the draft educational policy of the people's education, and I think it is very, very comprehensive. It has taken into account every aspect of education and how it should be taken to the last village of this country and of the state of Meghalaya. We know the condition of education in our state. We also know that there are several schools that are running as ghost schools. So we know that there are schools with one teacher. We know there are schools with, I mean, they're just schools for name's sake. So within this, within the paradigm of this Save India, All India Safe Education Committee, we would expect that the state government would take a call on, normalizing education in the form of by taking a look at all those educational institutions that are non-functional to make them functional, and if they cannot be made functional, they should be closed. And also in the larger context, we know that with the present regime, education has been highly communalized. Some chapters are being taken away, some chapters are being added without any public discussion.
To call upon my DST personalities on the dais to please stand and hold this draft People's Education Policy as a mark of releasing this draft. To please also have a brief discussion on this draft People's Education Policy. Wow.
Thank you so much. I've always been one who believed in development. And development can never take place without an infrastructure. And when we look at education, it is a social structure. It is a social infrastructure. Now, for whom is this infrastructure built? First, we have to be very clear about that. Does it concern only students and teachers? Or does it concern parents? Does it concern families? Does it concern the community as a whole? And if we accept this, that this is an infrastructure on which the whole of society depends on, how can a single cabinet sitting decide on a policy?
For your briefing on this draft People's Education Policy 2025, I would like to call now at this moment Professor Chikran to have a brief introduction of this draft as well.
Thank you very much. Some of us who are into the field of education, we understood that the new education policy is communalizing education, it is commercializing education, it is corporatizing education, and it is also centralizing education.